Boston police investigating a possible person with a firearm. Not too sure if it's just one of those fake calls they've been getting throughout the city of Boston or not, but they do got to investigate to make sure it's not credible. They got like three different.
Multiple calls from this phone number for Northampton Street, 35 Northampton, and 860 Harrison.
So this got to investigate. It sounds like a emotionally depressed person calling on the phone, but you gotta be safe. You know, you don't want to not answer that call, and it is a call. This building always gets calls like that, but you know they gotta investigate. You know, alleged there was supposedly, you know, there's too much stuff going on at one time. They said a person had a firearm. They're not sure the person had a firearm. Person alleged walked down the street, so they just want to go check it out just to be on the safe side. And this building here has.
This same phone number called in a gun call, 860 Harrison Ave, Unit 909.
So you got too many things going on there.
That was back in June. There's several calls from this phone number. I'll keep trying it.
So that sounds like a emotionally depressed person. That's what it sounds like. You know, the problem is that when you call these kind of calls in, you're tying up Boston police from having valuable resources to respond to other calls. So they're doing a call history on this particular call phone number, and it's coming up as person called multiple times, different occasions, same type of situation. But then again, you know, you still have to investigate. You don't want you not show up and something does happen. And keep in mind, this is the same building where they found the guy that murdered his roommate and tried to jump out the window. That happened about maybe a month ago. So this is that same building. Yes, the same building with the CVS that closed across the street.
2311 Washington Street.
Just 2311 Washington.
So Boston Police is conducting an investigation.
207
These calls, you really don't know what you're going into when you go to these kind of calls. You really don't. You know you got a person that's calling 911, but you don't know what their intentions are and, you know, what they're capable of doing. So you got to really be cautious. Some of these calls are very dangerous. So you got to, I say safety in numbers. That's what I say. I say the more you have, the safer you can be. This is a big building, guys. Just so you know, it's a pretty big building. You know, something happens in this building, you don't want to be just guessing. So just through checking around to see what they find. They have to investigate. You don't want to get a 911 call and no one show up. I mean, that wouldn't be good. So.
Walter. 103.
Ma'am, can you go again with the apartment number?
915, they said 2304.
I don't know what they're gonna do about this particular building, but this building has more than a share of problems in it. Like, I'm pretty sure the city's aware of it. This building has more than a share of 911 calls in this particular building. Just this building alone has so many calls in it. So I don't know, like, if the mayor has any plans on having the management company hire their own security to police it better, or I don't know. It's definitely something going on.
Ma'am, do you have to have the name of the caller?
There's no name given, and the recording doesn't give a name. It's just a female.
Okay, we'll check it out.
That's all you can do is check. You know, there's nothing else you can do. Just hopefully you don't miss anything on the way out. But Always gotta highlight what you see in the city because it's definitely. Good morning. So it looks like they're gonna check the building, and once they check what they can check, they're gonna give the all clear. But this is what Boston police have to deal with on a regular basis.
105. 105. Ma'am, can you just repeat that apartment number again? Number 2304. Okay, we have a female here in front of 2304 that's pretty agitated with us on the 35 Northampton side. We're going to try to make entry into the apartment.
So you're gonna try to make entry into the unit. Not like more likely it's a emotionally depressed person, but you gotta investigate. And this new year is not gonna be a good new year. It's gonna be a new year, but it's gonna be a year of all kind of chaotical things going on. Just based on what I'm looking at, what I'm seeing, it's like
Connected with this phone number is Sarita or Salita and the 9 prior calls. We believe that's 2303, ma'am. So we'll go speak. We have prior history with that apartment. There is. I'm just reading the calls now. Yep.
in the city. They gotta have more treatment facilities for people with what do they call it, emotionally depressed syndrome. I don't know what they're gonna do, but it's a lot of it. So they need to find something before it gets. Well, it's already out of control, but before it gets worse. Now keep in mind, before we had COVID, there weren't really too many emotionally depressed people. They were calling them manic depressive. That was one of the terms they were using. But they weren't really calling them emotionally depressed. Now the terminology has turned from manic depressive to emotionally depressed, because it's a little bit more than just what they deemed it to be originally. So to give you guys a quick recap, Boston police received a 911 call for alleged person with a firearm, and then they received another call right behind it from the same number, giving them a different address, but all in the same proximity of this area. Then they got the number, like, through checking the call logs and tracking the number to where the number always comes up as. They tracked it down to 35 Northampton Street. I believe that's the address. Or 860. Depends on what side of the street you're on. It could be 860 Harrison on this side, 35 Northampton on the other side. But this is how the sign reads, though, just so you know. It says 35 at 860. So 35 meaning 35 Northampton, and 860 meaning 860 Harrison Ave. So if you see that, it's kind of confusing because a lot of people won't know what that means, but that's what it means. So 35 at 860. Once again, Boston Police has a pretty hefty response because of the past history in this building as well. If you know all the history of this building, you'll see why the police came the way they came. This building has a lot of, domestic violence, overdose, armed robbery calls. There's a lot of calls. You have to check the call logs, but a lot of calls that they have of serious nature that prompts a response like this, especially if you have a gun call. You do have to come out in numbers just to be on the safe side.
Bravo 101.
And that person might end up getting Section 12. We're not sure, depending on their condition. Usually, if they're too far off, they get Section 12. So, like I said, it all depends on what they're doing and how irate they really are. That's when they will call out a member of the best team to evaluate them and go from there. We'll hang around for a little bit and see what comes out of this, Maybe nothing at all. And I still don't know who manages this building. I keep saying I'm going to find out. That's going to be one of my projects. Somebody told me it was Trinity Management, but I don't see nothing. Well, I guess there is something to say Trinity Management on there. So maybe it is Trinity Management. Yeah, I see Trinity Management on the window there. Yeah, so it is Trinity Management because it says 860 Harrison Ave, Trinity Management, and it has a phone number on it. So yeah, I don't know what Trinity Management is going to do about having those kind of problems in their building. It doesn't look good on them. You can see the contrast is not going to allow you to see that, but
Charlie 45.
did the best I can to zoom in on it.
Charlie, you didn't call in? You cut yourself off? Yes, sir. Charlie 425. This team is going to be secure. Going to be following the department tow back to the lot. It's going to be L20. Thank you to all the units that assisted here. Charlie 112 on Nora. That's right.
Yeah. I'm not sure what he got going on over there. He started to approach the building, but when he saw the police cars, he turned around and went the other way. So I'm not too sure what he got going on. He's telling them stop talking. Whoever he's talking to on the phone, he's telling them stop talking. And he's walking down the street saying it all down the street there. And you guys can still hear him. I could tell you one thing based off of just standing here for the last 15 minutes. There's a lot of traffic at 4 o'clock in the morning targeted towards this building right here, which, that's a telltale sign of either buying or using in the building. When you see, and I work in management, so I can say this, when you see a lot of traffic, especially in the wee hours of the night or in the morning, coming to a particular building, in and out, in and out, in and out, that's usually a telltale sign of drugs or using of drugs in the building, or prostitution. Those are the three. Now, not saying they're not coming off we could say they're coming off a midnight flight, coming to visit their friends, but they wouldn't be going in and out, in and out. They would either be in or they'd be out. Man, you can't say that many people came from Logan Airport and wanted to visit their friends 4 o'clock in the morning. That wouldn't, every day, that wouldn't be right. No. Once in a while, you may have someone comes in 3 o'clock in the morning off a early morning flight, but other than that, you won't see it like that. When you station a police officer at each end of the door, you probably get half the traffic to stop coming over here for like the next 20 minutes. I'm not too sure what that car's doing either. He kind of stopped and just, I don't know. Not too sure what's going on with that. Not too sure why that gentleman walked by. I think he wanted to enter the building and he probably realized there's police activity because he only came around that corner to walk to that corner and turn back around and go back the other way. Like, you stay here long enough, you see what I'm talking about. I see people that try to attempt to enter the building, but then they don't want to enter the building because they see what's going on around them. No, I'm surprised they haven't done a raid in this building.
101.
Just so they can catch no firearm here. Looks like it's a verbal dispute between two neighbors.
Echo.
So they're saying no firearm, which we kind of believe there was no firearm anyway. So it was a dispute, and people just want to get the police out here quicker by saying there is a firearm. They'll probably clear out of here shortly. One day I might go in that building and walk around and just do a video of how it looks on the inside. You know, it's just walk a couple of corridors here and there, just to give you guys the inside look of that building and how it looks. Nothing to go crazy over.
Okay, Joe.
Hey, Chip.
Ma'am, we have a 2-man unit for transport from St. Elizabeth to the base.
Alright, so they're gonna be declaring out of here.
Kilo 202, you able to clear?
$914, I'd like that
Hey, good morning.
suspect to be transported in a cruiser.
Alright, Kilo 104, you able to clear? Alright, that's from St. Eve.
I'm sure we have a report on her somewhere somehow.
Alright guys, that's pretty much it. Fast response by the Boston police. Turned to be a domestic situation, but you never can be too sure. We'll head up out here. Catch you guys on the next one.